Isekai.
Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage, Chapter 220, Family Background. On the journey back, Shen Miao thought about Empress Xianda's words and her heart could not calm down for a long time. Consort Jing was at a stage that mother and child was safe and Empress Xianda did not have any wrongs because of the matter. Thus everything looked like it had ended satisfactory, but Shen Miao felt that something was not quite right. Upon returning back to the residence of Prince Ruai, the skies was almost about to brighten and thus it was too late to sleep. Moreover, Shen Miao did not have any mood to rest. When Jings and Guyi saw it, they instructed the small kitchens to make some sweet soup for the both of them. When Shen Miao and Zi Jingxing returned to the room, the doors were locked and they sat in front of the table before Shen Miao looked at Zi Jingxing. Consort Jing is pregnant. What will the Lu family do? It was reasonable to say that Consort Jing child was very precious since Emperor Yongle did not have other children, and if she was carrying a son, then if there was no accidents, the future position of the monarch would logically go to the child in Consort Jing's womb. Logically it would be like this, but from Empress Xianda's words, this was not so, which made the matter somewhat thought-provoking. Could it be that Emperor Yongle still had other children? Otherwise how could it be so? The Lu family current had no fear due to Consort Jing, but was Emperor Yongle's plans for the Lu family this shallow? Shen Miao did not feel that it was possible. When Zi Jingxing heard those words, he said plainly, Imperial older brother has taken action against the Lu family. There is no difference if one survive or not. Those words meant that the child in Consort Jing's womb was one matter and the Lu family's ending was another. At least Consort Jing would temporarily save her life with the child, but the Lu family would fall according to plan. Shen Miao frowned. I spoke to Her Ladyship the Empress and felt somewhat strange. One heard that Her Ladyship the Empress had a miscarriage and it was caused by Consort Jing, not mentioning if it was intentional or not. No matter how magnanimous Her Ladyship the Empress is, how could she watch Consort Jing living safely and well for so many years? Zi Jingxing was pouring a cup of tea for her and his actions paused when he heard those words. Shen Miao stared at him. Tell me honestly why the Emperor do not have any children till now. Was it deliberate or without any choice? No matter how she thought, she felt that it was just too strange for Emperor Yongle not to have any children. Every emperor, be it if he was a wise monarch or incapable ruler, would want to have more children. The more children there is, the more checks and balances there would be and the imperial court would be more stable. Even Fu Ziyi did not have a shortage of children. Previous Shen Miao felt that it was strange that Emperor Yongle was so outstanding in court and the commoners lived and worked in peace. So how would the court be unstable now? She then understood when she knew about the reason of descendants, just because of one point, which was that Emperor Yongle did not have any children, the court would be rather vocal. Speaking of which, Emperor Yongle was considered very capable. If it was any other emperor, if they did not have son, one feared that they would long be gone and demoted to an ordinary person, much less keeping the power balance for years. Zi Jingxing looked back at Shen Miao after a long time and his gaze was somewhat strange. You really want to know? Ever since you were brought back unconscious from the Imperial hunt, I felt that some things would change, but at that time I just arrived in Longyi and did not know much of the situation in Great Liang and thus was unable to help in anything. Thus other than going to Fengziyuan to look for that person, one was unable to help in anything. Shen Miao said, I do not like being passive. If there is a day that you have to do something big, I would find that I am useless. But I do not have any knowledge, so even if I have the heart to help, how could I even help? Zi Jingxing looked at her for a while and he suddenly sighed. Half of the sigh was gratification and the other half was teasing as he stroked her head. Not only are Zhao Zhao can scheme against others, she can also be considerate of others. Shen Miao brushed his hands away. You can't always let me be a rice worm that only knows how to eat. I dared not underestimate you. Zi Jingxing smiled. Since you want to know, I will not conceal it. You told me that you had a realistic dream and that dream was very tragic. Now what I will be telling you is not a dream but things that indeed happened. It would take at least half a year with fast horses to reach Ding capital from Longyi. Did you always want to know how I became the son of the Marquis of Linen? Even though one knew of one's identity for so many years, one did not return to Great Liang. It was not because I did not want to return but I could not return. The gaze in his eyes gradually became sharper. Zi Jingxing's real name was Zi Yuan and his styled name was Jingxing. The meaning was from the phrase of "Behold a tall mountain that have an upright scenery." That meant that the person who gave him the name had hoped that he could be a noble and upright person, not mentioning if the meaning of those words were achieved, but the person who gave that name had deep love for him. The person who gave him the name was his imperial father, Emperor Zhao Wu, Zi Yilong, but the one who gave his styled name was his imperial mother, Empress Jingxian, Empress Zhao. Originally Emperor Zhao Wu was the most outstanding emperor of the dynasty of Great Liang. He had military power in his hands, calmed the four seas, was very handsome and heroic. If there was one thing not good, it was because he was the youngest son and the imperial family of Great Liang would only pass the throne to the eldest and not the younger ones, and this was the rules since the beginning. However, Zi Yilong was too outstanding, and the more outstanding a person was, one would not even put such light matters in his eyes, and it was difficult to press his ambition down. It was unfortunate that Zi Yilong was the former, and in addition, the crown prince at that time was inferior to him, so Zi Jingxing embarked on the route to fight for the heir apparent at the end. The route to fight for the heir apparent was very smooth for Zi Yilong as he had the innate advantage. He was the son of the empress and had many meritorious military accomplishments, thus Zi Yilong devised a plan to frame his blooded eldest brother, the crown prince, and angered his imperial mother to death, controlled his father and successfully ascended to the imperial throne and became Emperor Zhao Wu. In the journey of the fight for the heir apparent, one was bound to give up some things, like family relations and like love. At that time Zi Yilong felt that all these were not important as he was an ambitious person, so he married the daughter of the Prime Minister Zhao's family. The Zhao family was the head of the civil officials, and by marrying the Zhao family's daughter, he could win the majority of Great Liang's civil officials' aristocratic families. Moreover, the daughter of the Zhao family was an exceptionally beauty and was intelligent and magnanimous. There was no disadvantage of having an intelligent beauty, so this marriage was extremely advantageous. After ascending to the imperial throne, Emperor Zhao Wu and Empress Jingxian had proper respect and concern for one another, and Emperor Zhao Wu was a wise monarch and Empress Jingxian was famously virtuous under heavens, and it looked ideal. Not long later Empress Jingxian gave birth to Isekai and he became the crown prince. Originally Great Liang's land had gradually expanded and the strength of the nation had gradually became the strongest among the three countries, so everything looked blissful. But the most difficult thing to retain in this world was remain unchanged. Empress Zhao was married to Emperor Yongle when there was chaos, and the husband and wife complemented each other in literary and military knowledge. Zi Yilong had ambitions and Empress Zhao was composed. Zi Yilong had high level of means and methods and Empress Zhao was resourceful and intelligent. However, when the enemies outside gradually disappeared, the spear would be aimed at the people around. Emperor Zhao Wu was one with ambitions. At the beginning he used many means and ways to gain the throne, and his ambitions came from his desire. He gradually became suspicious that the Zhao family had the intentions to be the relatives that wield power. The more Empress Zhao was virtuous and intelligent, the more suspicions Emperor Zhao Wu had. In order to balance off the power of the Zhao family, Emperor Zhao Wu opened up the inner palace. There were a number of aristocratic families in the Zhao family and he promoted them and let the Zhao family fight with them, and in the inner palace, he let Empress Zhao fight with those women from the aristocratic families. Empress Zhao was intelligent and proper. After marriage, she had always been adhering the family teachings of treating one's husband as heavens, and in addition Zi Yilong was an outstanding talent among people. They had gotten along for many years. However, all those mess of women started to give birth to princes and rack one's brains to even threaten Zekai's position of the crown prince, and finally Empress Zhao could no longer sit back and ignore it. Every female, even the weakest of all female, would all become a beast in order to protect one's child. Moreover, Empress Zhao was not a weak white rabbit. In Zhao family, an aristocratic family, for her to become the most outstanding young lady, naturally she had brains, thus she started to counterattack strongly. To be able to walk with Emperor Zhao Wu over from the chaotic days, Empress Zhao's ability naturally could not be underestimated. How could those rich, beautiful and delicate females could compete? It was just inviting humiliation to oneself. Zekai was safe and sound and Empress Zhao was repeatedly victorious. She had shown her strength and her brains were extremely good that it shocked those female and no one dared to act rashly. However, the intelligent Empress Zhao would also make a mistake. The more outstanding she was, the more upset Emperor Zhao Wu was. Emperor Zhao Wu became more guarded against her and even began to find her mistakes. At the beginning it was only placing some opponents for Empress Zhao in the palace, then he would watch on coldly at their battles. At the end, it was consciously be biased with the other party and whatever Empress Zhao did was wrong. He also started to directly suppress the Zhao family without hesitation. Empress Zhao felt very upset, but she had thought that Emperor Zhao Wu was her husband and one would be confused at some point in one's life. She only needed to protect her position and let Zekai grow up safe and sound and watch as Zekai smoothly succeeded in ruling the country. Who knew that those females would have ideas on Zekai? At that period of time, Emperor Zhao Wu suddenly warmed up to Empress Zhao and Empress Zhao did not know why he behaved as such. After not long, Prime Minister Zhao suddenly took the initiative to resign from his post. Zi Yilong was one who had good means and methods. Even though the Zhao family was vicious, they could not compete with Zi Yilong. It took a few hundred years for the Zhao family to have an empress from their family. For this empress, the Zhao family would not hesitate to sacrifice themselves. When Empress Zhao knew of the matter, it was already too late. She then knew that all the warm nights were only an act of Zi Yilong's schemes and felt nauseating, but she did not think that she would be pregnant. This flesh in her womb was different from Zekai as it came to this world by Zi Yilong's deliberate and hypocritical schemes. When Empress Zhao was pregnant, she would often think that if it was a son, he must not be like his father. He could have ambitions and create crafty plots and machinations, but he could not make use of another's sincere heart. That was the most despicable behavior and was also the most shameful thing. After getting pregnant, there were many areas that became inconvenient for Empress Zhao, but she did not expect someone to take advantage of her current situation and take action upon Zekai. Zekai was drugged. It was a very strong and sudden poison, and if it was not because of the old relations between the Prime Minister Zhao and the head of the Zhao family that the head of the Zhao family personally take charge, one feared that Zekai could not survive at that time. Even though he had survived, the master of the Zhao family had diagnosed that the poison had entered the organs and one was only prolonging the time. Zekai could not live past 35 and this poison would also affect his descendants. From that time onwards, if he had any children, it was inevitable that they would have congenital deficiency or they would also have the poison in their body. In any sense, it was all not a good thing. The master of the Zhao family was a rare godlike doctor under heavens, and for him to say such things, Zekai's doomed fate was almost fixed. The other party was targeting Zekai's life. Even if they could not have his life, they wanted to ruin his entire life. Empress Zhao had never expected that she would end up in such a situation, as she was the most outstanding daughter in the Zhao family, was a revered empress and virtual reputation under heavens. In order to protect her, her family clan had voluntarily retired from Great Liang's officialdom, and two of her children, one could not complete one's life under such sinister schemes and the other was the fruit that grew under the poisonous scheme. The one who did the poisoning was investigated, but it was the favored consort that Emperor Zhao Wu just raised. Empress Zhao brought that favored consort tied up to the imperial gardens and sliced her flesh. piece by piece, and she personally watched as she took her last breath. All the palace maids and eunuchs in the imperial gardens were trembling as they watched, and they almost fainted. However, Empress Zhao felt that there was no meaning to it. Emperor Zhao Wu naturally scolded and blamed the favored consort, and he personally judged the crimes of the favored consort and comforted Empress Zhao. As Empress Zhao heard his gentle words, her heart was as cold as ice and her mind was filled with caution and vigilance. Did Emperor Zhao Wu know of this matter or not? Empress Zhao felt that after being married to Emperor Zhao Wu for so many years, she should examine him carefully again. Even if Emperor Zhao Wu did not know about it, this favored consort was raised up to go against Empress Zhao. One did not kill Bo Ren, but Bo Ren died because of one. Bo Ren is a character in Three Kingdoms, and this is a phrase usually used to describe regret, remorse and sadness that one has caused another's death. At one side, defenses started building up in Empress Zhao's heart, but at the other side, she pretended to be Wan due to the misfortune that befell on her son. The untreatable poison in Zekai's body was not circulated out, but who would know if others would know about it in the future? However, the most worrying thing for Empress Zhao was that it was almost time to give birth to the child in her womb. Emperor Zhao Wu was suspicious of the Z family's treatment of Zekai, and if the child in her womb was a son, if anything happened to Zekai, the child could replace Zekai's position and sit on the crown prince's position. One do not know if he would be the next Zekai. If it was a daughter, Empress Zhao was not willing to let him stay in the palace and be manipulated daily and unable to control one's destiny. The most important thing was that Empress Zhao would be starting to fight back. After giving birth to this child, she wanted to return individually all the suffering the Zhao family, Zekai and her experienced. With a newly born, there would many inconvenient things, and maybe he would be controlled by others, so she had to find a way out. Substituting a raccoon for the crown prince was generally speaking that the crown prince that was replaced would be far away from everything that he should have, and that raccoon would be able to gain everything that did not belong to one. Empress Zhao gave the newly born child to her confidant and said, "Behold a tall mountain that have an upright scenery. His styled name will be Jingxing. If one day he grows up to be a man of indomitable spirits, he can scheme and plot, but he can never use another's sincere heart." She took a hard look at her child for the last time and said, "Send him away." In 2 months that a number of horses died in exhaustion, that half-a-year journey from Longyi to Ding capital. Because Ziyuan's first contact to this world and what welcomed him was that he had to flee. In those days of escaping, his eyes were widened and he was babbling as he learned to fight with this world. In the residence of the Marquis of Linan in Ding capital, Princess Yuqing was about to give birth. Empress Zhao's confidant originally followed Empress Zhao's order and wanted to send Ziyuan to an ordinary wealthy family to be away from the imperial court disputes. However, that day when the confidant was investigating in the streets, one had accidentally learned that Princess Yuqing was also about to give birth, and the child's name was already set as Jingxing. The confidant had thought that it was truly a coincidence. That was a night that filled with wind and rain. There was a heavy rain that fell in Ding capital, and the rainwater diluted the blood that was in the courtyard, dimmed the female painful screams, and also covered up the fate baby's cries. That child with the name of Zi Jingxing was one that was very fated with Ziyuan as he died before he was born. The confidant hesitated for a moment when holding the baby, but he had made a decision that he was happy for life. He turned Ziyuan to Zi Jingxing, and from then onwards his name was Jingxing, and there would no longer be any styled name. He was the little heir of the residence of the Marquis of Linan that held the expectations of Empress Zhao and the hope of Princess Yuqing to live in this world well. Not long after, the wealthy household that was initially chosen was completely eliminated in a night. No one knew why, but those who knew were clear that Emperor Zhao Wu had discovered some clues and rushed over to eliminate. One did not know it was fortunate or a bane, but because of the confidant's momentary slip, Zi Jingxing had avoided the struggle between life and death. It seemed to be a fated destiny. There were non-stop filthy things in the residence of the Marquis of Linen. Madame Feng and her two sons kept creating issues, and Zi Jingxing's only support was Zi Ding's favor. However, Zi Ding's favor was not often a good thing, as Zi Ding would often not be in the residence as he would be in battle most of the year. It was very difficult for Zi Jingxing, a young child, to survive at the mouth of beasts. If Empress Zhao's confidant did not help secretly, one feared that he would long become soil in the ground and had a reunion with the genuine heir of the residence of the Marquis of Linen. Not only that, the Emperor of Mingqi was also suppressing the Zi family secretly. In such an environment, Zi Jingxing gradually grew up. He was thankful that the confidant placed him in such a cruel environment so that he would not be too uncomfortable when facing his future rugged route. He trifled without respect and casually and rode his horse undisciplined all around Ding capital streets and alleys. He was unbearable and made one have headaches, but just like Empress Zhao's expectation, he grew up to be a man with indomitable spirits. He did not use another's sincere heart. Even though he had an casual and ridicule appearance, he respected every sincere heart, like Princess Rongzin, like Su Mingfeng, like the Marquis of Linen, and like Shen Miao. He had lived very well in Mingqi's Ding capital, and he only relied on himself. Thus he had the ability to act against the enemy in the dark. How about Empress Zhao? In those years, Empress Zhao had been missing her youngest son and was saddened by her eldest son's experience that she decided to fight back. Weren't you afraid that this empire would end up in the hands of the Zhao family? Weren't you most concerned about this? Then I will snatch it from your hands and stomp on it under one's feet. At that time, would you feel a little regret for what you had done today? Empress Zhao was a daughter from the Zhao family, and her abilities and stratagems did not lose to a male. Because of the anger, she became even more spirited, whereas Emperor Zhao Wu started to get old. His state of mind and attention were dispersed by all the concubines in the inner palace, and all his ambitions had gradually faded away after he was free of worries. Life sprang from sorrow and calamity, and death came with ease and pleasure. When Emperor Zhao Wu passed away, there was only Empress Zhao accompanying him. Empress Zhao said, "May your majesty rest assured, as we are husband and wife, Qian will not let you feel too lonely during the journey to the underworld. All the females and concubines that you have favored before in this palace, Qian will let them accompany you during the journey, and all of your children, with the exception of the crown prince, Qian would not miss out on any one of them." Emperor Zhao Wu's eyes widen, and there is still more. Empress Zhao seemed to have thought of something and leaned over to speak by his ears. "Our youngest son is living well. Those people that your majesty sent to Mingqi had killed the wrong people. After a few more years, when this government is settled down, Qian will bring him back to be recognized by the forefathers, since the great Liang Empire needs someone to continue governing. Qian's heart is tender, so the brothers still bear the surname of Zi. If Qian's heart is as hard as your majesty, the dynasty name of the Empire of Great Liang would have been changed. Your Majesty, walk the journey down well. Qian will hold on this empire first." Empress Zhao stood in front of the bed smiling very softly. Emperor Zhao Wu could not close his eyes at the hour of his death. Empress Jingxian became Empress Dowager Jingxian. Zikai became Emperor Yongla. Zi Jingxing was still in Mingqi's Ding capital and was groping along the dark road. He ignorantly came to knowledge of his own family background, but was told that his birth father was seeking to kill him and his birth mother had trapped his birth father to death. Currently the wind direction was at its most critical, thus one could not take unnecessary actions. The events of the world all arose from many causes, and just like what Empress Jingxian said, she really cleaned up the inner palace of Great Liang. All those mothers and sons that once threw their weight around and targeted them became Emperor Zhao Wu's companions. She then said to ZK, who had become Emperor Yongla, "Ijia is cold and cannot manage matters outside, but Ijia can still give you a clean inner palace. From now onwards there are no vile characters in the inner palace. You only need to promise Ijia one thing, that is to keep this empire in the palm of your hands and never let it collapse." The Lu family and Yi family were Emperor Zhao Wu's confidants and were extremely cunning. As the saying went, "A centipede dies but never falls down." Because of the complicated forces, they were not easily uprooted. Thus Emperor Yongle had been secretly scheming to deal with these two families. Empress Dowager Jingxian passed on 2 years later. Her head suddenly fell to the desk when she was reading the Lu family's memorandum and did not wake up anymore. The Jiao family said that it was due being physically and mentally exhausted that she had exhausted all her energy. However, the day before she even spoke to Emperor Yongle with a glistening expression if they should change to a new tactic for the year's grand ceremony, and perhaps they could think of a way to let Zi Jingxing take a trip back to Great Liang. It was difficult to predict matters of the world. In her entire lifetime, she was unable to have the opportunity to reunite with Ziyuan again. On that day, heavens had separated the people.